I would like to introduce our next speaker, Miss Emily McCarthy, who is the owner of the Emily McCarthy Shop and Studio. Obviously, there is no room for bore in the colorful life of Emily McCarthy. She is a small town girl who is a coastal living designer. She does print design and golden details. She is a Savannah, Georgia resident. She is an active member of the gift and paper industry for over 18 years. She has huge experience in small independent retail, direct wholesale, large corporate retail, and boutique design. She has opened up her online and physical store in Savannah, and she does all things weddings, paper, and branding since 2016. And without further ado, Miss Emily, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you, Elvie. And Sabrina, that was so great to hear. And something I wanted to add that my grandmother always said, anytime I was in one of those situations where I was like bummed out that something didn't work out the way that I wanted to or intended it to. And her quote was always, "What's for you won't pass you by." And it's just something that I've always lived by. And it does bring me a lot of peace when something doesn't work out, because in the grand scheme of things, it always ends up working out for the better. So it's a good quote to remember. But thank you for having me. I was excited about the event in March, I think it was, but this will do too. And I know a lot of you are probably still working from home because we have a retail store. We've actually been open for almost the whole time, and during the shelter in place, we were obviously closed, but we still had an online business to maintain. So, my staff was able to go in safely to fulfill online orders, and we were able to kind of float along until we could start opening the doors again. So, I honestly, for me, we're back in school where the store's been open. So it feels a little bit more normal to me than some of you that probably are still working from home and haven't ventured out a lot. So I'm excited to be here. As LB said, I've been in this industry for a long time in the gift realm of things. And part of, a little bit about my background. I went to LaGrange College and studied graphic design and photography, and quickly went into a stationery company that I was able to, design and produce stationery, and then moved on to a larger retailer that had many stores across the country. But over my experience, I felt like a lot of the gift stores that I saw were a lot of the same things. And I know a lot of you probably experience that. You go into different stores and you see a lot of the same things everywhere. And for me, having the ability to get into product design, once I branched out on my own, it was important that I was able to create something really unique to the market. And there's a book called The Purple Cow that if any of you have read, it really struck a chord with me in starting my business to purposely stand out and be different. So whether I'm sure a lot of you own your own businesses or maybe design products, or even if you don't, I'm sure you can find, some sort of relation to this. But the book is it's about businesses who created a product that was really unique to their industry. So for instance, the paint company that came out with paint cans that have a pouring spout on it. Like, why did that? It's just such a light bulb thing that, like, why didn't everybody do that? And it makes you remember that, and there's a whole philosophy behind why the book is called A Purple Cow, but I'll let you all read it. But it's how do you challenge yourself as a business owner to create a really unique product, or maybe yours is a service-based business. And so how do you, say if you own a hair salon, like what can you do to make yourself different in a city full of hair salons? Like, is it your marketing? Is it services that you provide? Is it the design of your space? Is it the full customer experience? And so there's ways to do this in many businesses. And I always challenge, I work with a lot of companies for branding, and I just challenge them to figure out something that is going to help you stand out. Because at the end of the day, if you're just sort of venturing into the same business that many others do, like how are you going to be different, and how are you going to be more successful in the long run? So when I started my business, it was mostly with personalized products. A lot of you have probably ordered personalized things before. You see a lot of the same fonts, personalized options on things, no matter where you go. And there's an industry standard for that. But what I wanted to do was really elevate the expected monogram style. So I studied a lot of old world traditions, a lot of old Victorian and French monograms, and kind of worked with that old lettering and made it new again. So all of our products are graced with very unique monogram designs, some of which you can't even quite tell what they are, which is what I think is the beauty in them. They're a little bit less expected and a little bit elevated. And now, so that was in 2012. Now that's really what our whole brand is known for. But if I were to start at a business with just the same fonts as everyone else, like no one would remember who we were, and no one would have something that's different and go, oh, I've never seen that before. Where did you get that? So it's an amazing marketing tool as well, and definitely been what we've built the entire business on. So, now we have many other things besides stationery. Those monograms are available on entertaining products, linens, and now we've ventured into a lot of other things like clothing, not monogrammed, of course, but all of our signature prints that we do. So I guess my challenge to you is figuring out, like looking at your business, am I doing anything different than someone else who runs the same kind of business? Am I just following suit of what others are doing? And we see this a lot in the retail industry that, this store carries this line, so, oh, I need to hurry up and carry that line too. But we really approach it differently. We're like, well, we don't want to carry that line because other stores carry that line. Like, we want to carry something that's different. And it does create a really different experience for our customers, which is great. And that's why people come to us now, because we do offer different products. But look at your business, think of maybe 3 other businesses like yours, and evaluate if you're just doing the same thing that they are, or are you doing something that's really different? And if you're not doing anything that's different, try to find out what that thing might be. Like if it's a service, if it's maybe the follow-up gift you give them after their service, if you're a realtor or something like that. Is it your closing gifts that you give? Is that your signature mark? Is that why people are going to be left with a good impression? So I would challenge you to do that. I love working with individuals and other business owners. So if any of you ever kind of get stuck in that arena, I'd love to help you. You can send me an email, we can chat. But in the end, that's kind of what's given my business a lot of traction, and what we're known for as a brand. And so again, just kind of coming up with some ways that you can do that in your own business.